high cost to us.
The issue of migration has led to a challenging period for South Africa as countries push for Pretoria to answer at the African Union. This thorny issue received attention at the Kgalema Motlanthe Foundation event, which focused on African migration. The day was filled with discussions aimed at encouraging dialogue and developing a strategy to counter the challenges of migration. Former President Motlanthe says the talks can help foster long solutions.
Given the structure of our economy, it is therefore imperative for government to always strive to be in charge as it responds to the cries of the unemployed, the poor and marginalized sections of our nation. Failure to maintain authority on the part of government invites lawlessness and near anarchy with devastating consequences. And it is important for political leaders to know that they are not only responsible for the way they lead, but also for what is done by those they lead, particularly in times of crisis and upheavals.
The seminar comes after International Relations and Cooperation Minister Ronald Lamola travelled to Ghana as a special envoy to meet the President of Ghana in Accra, John Mahama.
The first key issue for the meeting was that this matter should not affect South Africa-Ghana bilateral relations that has been enduring, two very good friendly countries that are now engaged in this very robust engagement matter that is very necessary for the African continent to engage on the migration issue. So we have agreed with Ghana and President Mahama in particular that this matter will not impact South Africa-Ghana binational relations, and that engagement in relations to the bilateral relations will continue. But the thorny issue of migration, they are insisting to take it through the processes of the AU. And as South Africa, we welcome it to be discussed at some stage at the highest level of the African Union, because it will deal with the pull and push factors, the root causes of migration, which impacts all African countries. And as you are aware, South Africa being one of the highest receiving countries in the continent, number one, followed by Egypt and Ivory Coast. So this is an issue that will have to be discussed, issues of economic growth, job creation across the continent.
The former South African Deputy Finance Minister also weighed in.
Over the past few months, South Africans have witnessed scenes that would trouble the conscience of any nation. Vigilante groups have hunted down immigrants at their homes in the streets. Spaza shops have been looted and burned. Families who came here seeking opportunity and safety have been headed into makeshift encampments, while African governments have had to hire buses and charter special flights to evacuate their citizens from the country they once considered a beacon of hope. Men and women who share our continent, our history, and in many cases our struggle for freedom, have been made to feel like strangers, intruders, and outcasts. They have been told that they do not belong. Those who are behind the protest say that unchecked immigration has brought more people into our country than we can cope with. That they have taken our jobs and our houses and brought crime to our neighborhoods. We are told that we do not have the space or resources to offer refuge to people fleeing the failures of their own governments and societies. By contrast, many Africans see what is happening as primarily a human rights matter, in which their fellow citizens, undocumented or not, are being dehumanized and mistreated. What is abundantly clear is that there is no easy answer, no simplistic solutions to what is an economic, a moral, and political challenge, one that touches on people's fears and their deepest sense of identity and belonging. South Africa is not alone in dealing with these challenges. Across the world, societies are wrestling with who belongs, how newcomers can be accommodated, and how nations can reconcile compassion with social cohesion.
Sophie Mokoena, SABC News, Johannesburg.